that intro, we've been playing that intro for a month now.
It's amazing that it's the end of the month already.
And it has not prompted anybody to choose any of those movies.
No, it's subliminal. It's all subliminal.
Movie suggestions. I was hoping that maybe. Good evening, everybody. It is January 31st, 2022. The month is over, and it's time to talk movies with Eric and Dan.
Yes, we have lots of movies to talk about tonight because we have the one we watched.
Oh, yes.
And then because it's the last show of the month, we pick a double feature for next month.
Feature. And maybe Adam will finally get his chance to have his double feature.
It's either you or Adam, right?
Me, Adam, Richard, and your mom, if your mom's around.
Oh.
And that's not a joke. My brother makes every joke as the answer is your mom, but I mean literally your mom could choose the next week's movie. And if some random person is in the comments and decides to join us for the first time, maybe you could choose the double feature for next week.
Maybe your voice can go up really high.
Maybe you can go even higher. I don't know. I don't know. So
this movie, I thought I'd seen. It was another one that I thought I'd seen, and I didn't.
I remember the hubbub. It's a Beautiful Mind. We're going to talk about that. What is this? This is episode 87.
Yeah, doing the Jake Leno voices.
We're going to talk about A Beautiful Mind, which is going to be super fun. This should be a good time tonight as we look back on A Beautiful Mind and see if anybody here has a beautiful mind. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we should tell people how they can join us. We've got quite a crew lined up. But we still have space if somebody else wants to join, right, Dan?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 spaces if you want to be on camera. Unlimited spaces if you want to be in the chat.
Unlimited
area.
Unlimited.
You can say whatever you want.
Rollover spaces. No.
Censor free. We might not read it out loud, but yeah. But do you want to say what the movie is and do your little
well, I was actually going to see if you were going to tell people how they would join.
Oh, that part. Yes, of course.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes, if you want to be a guest, you go to EriDanLive.com or EriDanLive.com. And if you were on before, we do recommend that you either use an incognito window or you clear your cache, because it'll send you the link to the last week's show potentially.
But if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you got to close that first.
Yes.
Then you got to head over to EriDan Live. And you'll
be able to, because if not,
there
we get echo and all kinds of chazarai.
All right, let me do that. Let's do some stats. Let's look over what this movie is. It's A Beautiful Mind from 2001. He saw the world in a way no one could have imagined. Russell Crowe, Ed Harris, Jennifer Connelly, Christopher Plummer, Paul Bettany, and Adam Goldberg all together in this Ron Howard Akivia Goldsman classic. Budget of $60 million, worldwide gross $317 million. Critics are like, nah, it's like a 74. But the audience says, no, we love it. It's a 93. And we got lots to talk about. So we should probably bring in some peeps.
Yes, we got so many people to bring.
I'll play this thing and you bring them in. Here we go. Right. Wiki. Oh, Cody is here.
I really enjoyed the wiki.
I love the shirt, man. That's classic.
I have one sitting in this box. I have not put it on yet.
I love the red shirt. That's fantastic.
And I got the hat on.
Cody's sister in here, and I thought that this was Cody's sister 5th time, and Cody's like, no, don't do that. She doesn't deserve it yet. Next week, but we'll bring in Brittany. And it looks like Brittany's husband might be here just with audio. So is that right? Am I seeing this?
I don't see a picture.
I mute that though. It looks like he's muted. It's like he's here.
He probably muted him. He's feeding the baby. So
totally fine. So yeah, he can
be to stay muted.
Any way he would like to be.
Yeah.
And yes, he says he's here. He is here.
We've got a new variety of writers here.
How do we do this? Do we have?
It also looks like it was Stacy and Reagan, but maybe Reagan ditched Stacy. I don't know if Reagan's around. But let's bring in just Wade. Do we have a Wade? We don't. This is so sad. I don't have a
man.
Wade is permanently connected to Stacy, so we're just gonna bring him on. I'm so confused. It used to say that it was Stacy and Reagan, and now Stacy's clearly by herself.
Yep.
Wade is in a whole separate location.
Yeah.
There you go. COVID Wade is here.
I'm in the COVID bunker.
He's bunkering down. We got to bring David.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Look at this. Oh, that's so
I've lived the last 2 years in a COVID bunker.
It feels like, man.
Dr. Rosen.
That's amazing. So here we all are. Still 2 more spots available. If you'd like to finish out this Brady Bunch, set of squares here, we're ready.
Hollywood Square.
Oh, look, Reagan's in the comments. That's a good place to
And
be.
she's doing the. She's got the picture from the Blair Witch Project.
So only
So scared.
this may
She's
be
wearing a red mask.
This
under
might
her
be
nose.
Brittany's 4th time only visiting with us, but Brittany, this is 3rd movie that Brittany has chosen.
Oh,
Well, my
Good.
first
Had
one
a-
got a double feature.
You did got a double
Just
feature.
to rub it in Adam that he doesn't get chosen. He did every single week forever.
Adam was chosen.
Oh, Adam,
Eventually.
Last week.
and Adam has
Last
chosen to share this comments.
Boringful mind.
yeah.
So, so Brittany, why a beautiful mind? Why Russell Crowe? Like Russell Crowe trying to think. Look like you're thinking.
Well, okay, time out. First of all, I was the one who told Cody I didn't get an intro, just so that's clear. I was like,
Correct.
I was like,
Got it.
I have not
Okay.
been on. I'm like counting. I'm like looking at the calendar.
It gets 5.
I was like, I'll be there 5 times, but I don't need one yet. Anyways, it's funny because I was trying to remember why I picked this movie, and I think it's because last week when we had watched Saving Private Ryan, I was looking at the cast and stuff, and I was like, I know this person from somewhere, and I know this person. I'm trying, and I do like the IMDb and figure out where I know them from. And when I looked at Adam Goldberg's, it's A Beautiful Mind popped up, and I'm like, I don't remember who he played in that.
Yeah.
And I think that just was in the back of my head. And then when I got to pick, I was like, that's what I want to watch.
And we get 2 Adam Goldberg movies in a row.
Yeah. So I
And
think
it's
that
not
was-
the Adam Goldberg from the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
So I think
You want
that's
to guess?
probably
That's
where
the
that
tie
was
that
from.
binds.
Yet Judd Hirsch plays Adam Goldberg's grandfather on the Goldbergs, and this movie opens with Judd Hirsch
Yeah.
talking to Adam Goldberg.
Movieception.
Wow.
Aw.
Eric's mouthed it, and I said it.
I've never seen this movie before.
I feel like I haven't, and then I recognized a lot of it. I was really,
Oh, really? I remember all the hype because there was a lot of Oscar buzz about this.
Yeah.
movie.
It won multiple Oscars, so it wasn't just buzz. It won Best
Well,
Picture.
Yeah.
that counts as buzz. There had to be buzz to get it. To the
Buzz is before the movie, before the Oscars, not before.
Yeah, hype and buzz.
Then I just listened to the buzz.
Oh, yeah. He didn't actually watch the Oscar.
No, I didn't watch the Oscar. I never watched because I've never seen half of the movies that they're and I hadn't seen this one, but I remember a lot of discussion about A Beautiful Mind. So Adam obviously was not in. It's a little slow. Well, depending on how you view it, right? For me, it was very slow, and then it was very sad.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is really boring. Oh, this is really sad. Oh, this is really over. Whew. No.
I'll tell you, that was one of the years that the Oscars was hosted by Whoopi Goldberg. So, not the most memorable Oscar.
So it did not get beaten out by Shakespeare in Love 2.
Romeo's Revenge.
Oh my God.
Why not?
Yes, it was also my first time. It was one of those. I think my mom even messaged me that she thought that she had seen it, and as she was watching, she's like, "Oh, maybe I didn't see this."
I remembered the beginning. I remember him being up on the building with the blonde guy. I'm like, okay. And then I knew nothing. Nothing was familiar at all after
I
that.
enjoyed the Jarvis parts. I enjoyed all the parts.
Oh, Jarvis was great.
Jarvis was amazing.
Ed Harris was great.
And totally
Yeah.
fictional, by the way.
Cody had the absolute best comment.
Oh, I did. Oh, I did.
So
Okay.
we're sitting there, and I'm making comments, and when Russell Crowe is like totally ignoring him, I'm like, that makes me so sad. Like, poor imaginary Paul Bettany. Like, my heart is sad. He's not even real, and my heart is breaking for this imaginary guy. And then Cody.
One might say that Paul Bettany was merely a vision.
Oh.
Oh,
Like, you
my.
would. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
That is one of my small complaints about the movie is that they really did amp up his delusions.
They did, because his delusions were only auditory. None of them
Exactly, they
were
were auditory. He didn't have He didn't have an imaginary roommate. He didn't. No, that was all totally fictionalized for the screenplay.
Now his son has the visual hallucinations.
Taking away 2 points.
His son is also a mathematician and schizophrenic.
Yeah, and his son has the visual hallucinations as well.
Watching this movie.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, Cody.
No, watching this movie made me fearful that some of my friends aren't real.
You have friends?
Whoa! Not really, actually.
Well, there has.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, I mean, I knew it was based loosely on a true story. I didn't look into the details, so I did not realize that they had made up the visual aspect of his.
Yeah,
his
they
issue.
made up a lot of it, actually. Like,
They did.
he never worked for the gut. Like, he never went to the Pentagon or anything like that.
Well,
But
that was his.
he did
delusion.
write letters to the government. He sent letters to them, and he was super conspiracy theory kind of in some of his delusions. And he actually was telling them, you need to encrypt your stuff differently. And they never responded to him. They blew him off. But the encryption method that he sent to them over and over and over is the encryption method they're using today.
And
He was an early pioneer in public key type of he was it's interesting because the thing he won the Nobel for, some people think was among his more modest accomplishments. He actually was a very brilliant mathematician. He was not incredibly prolific. He would have long fallow years where he did nothing of any note, and then he would have a breakthrough in a field that was completely unrelated to things he'd worked on before, which is very unusual for a mathematician. They usually have a specialty they work in that is very, very deeply specialized, because even just the language of different areas of math is completely different. And he was truly brilliant, very, very brilliant.
I mean, he also the big breakthrough he had was just trying to figure out how to hook up with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, that was the whole.
Well, he got Jennifer Connelly.
I'll go after her.
That's one of the parts that I remembered, and I was like, he's gonna say that,
Right.
And I was like, yeah.
It almost seemed a little bit like Good Will Hunting in that way.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that, genius type.
A little less Matt Damon, but
yeah, a lot.
Because you all are movie buffs, you'll understand, or you'll probably know what I'm talking about. I confused this movie with the one with Benedict Cumberbatch where they had to actually work for the
Imitation
government. Thank you.
Which one?
I've seen that Imitation Game.
Oh,
I've missed that.
Didn't Benedict Cumberbatch also play? What's his name? No, he didn't play
Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Strange.
No, I'm thinking of the guy with Lou Gehrig's disease. Why is his name leaving me?
No, you're thinking
Cooper.
No, wrong one.
What's his name?
I can't think of his name. Yeah.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
The genius in the wheelchair.
Dave's frozen, but I can hear him laughing.
What is his name?
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. There we go.
Wow.
I just want to see how long we go.
If I would have said it like this, you would have understood me.
Am I still frozen?
No.
Yeah, Cumberbatch played Turing, who was another brilliant mathematician. But yeah.
Right.
Who doesn't love a mathematician movie?
Yeah, the other thing I
was
figured was
Turing was not as disturbed as Nash was, but Turing also was very persecuted because of his sexual orientation and things like that. So they each had their different
movie. Actually,
fighting.
Yeah, I think I did see that. I mean, I feel like if this movie wasn't based on a partial, or at least partially based on a true story, this movie would be a lot worse. I mean, the fact that there's at least some tie to some, maybe not real events even.
They just amplified it to make it more visual for the movies. But
I feel like to amplify it, they could have gone another 5 or 6
I don't disagree. They glossed over a lot. He was in and out of institutions many, many times over a long period of time. They made it seem in the movie like he was institutionalized once.
Yeah.
He also divorced his wife and then remarried
they
his
were
wife.
divorced for almost 40 years.
And they remarried then years later. Yeah.
It was almost 40, I think 38 years they were split.
Yeah, they got remarried in 2001.
In one of the interviews on YouTube, his son says they asked his son how his father was as a parent. And he said, "Well, he wasn't part of my life for my first 10 years, but once he re-entered my life, he was actually a very good dad."
Well, that's nice.
Interesting.
And he and his wife they died the same day
In a car accident, yeah.
in a car crash.
Oh my!
Coming home from Norway, from the airport, after a trip to Norway, and I thought that was the creepiest, weirdest thing.
Yeah, he was there accepting a math award.
Yeah, he was just getting an award. I remember. So the reason I picked this movie is I went to Edinburgh. I have a psych degree. So anything like this, like Shutter Island, like all like those mind things with like mental disorders where you can't discern reality from kind of that stuff just like fascinates me. And my teacher in high school, my senior year, had us watch this movie as a part of class.
Yes, he did.
And he would bring kids in like to teach us things like conditioning. He would bring in like freshmen, like underclassmen, because the psychology class was seniors only. And so we had to condition them with different things. So he would have a kid stand up at the front and he would take his ruler and hit the board 3 times and then tap them in the head with the ruler and then hit the board 3 times and tap until they figured out after 3 taps, they would he was phenomenal. Like he was like my favorite teacher ever. But he had
unless you were a freshman getting hit on the head.
We had to like cheer for them to sharpen a pencil without giving them any directions, like to try to like condition them with rewards and punishments and reinforcements.
Okay, what shape do you see on the?
It was so much fun that he had us watch this movie, and so because I had seen this movie and his class had such a profound impact on me, when they died, I remember seeing it in the news.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh! Like I know who that is.
2015, yeah. And then if you go on YouTube, there's actually a video in Sotheby's from a year later because they were auctioning off his Nobel Prize.
Oh my God!
Well, I assume his son would have inherited it, and probably needed the money.
I thought I read that it's not actually a Nobel Prize because there wasn't actually one for economics. It's some adjacent.
It's like a
prize they give that's
something or other. It's in economics, yeah.
But it's like it's one that they kind of give at the same time as the Nobel, but it's not part of. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
and in the movie they spelled noble. It's
a legit Nobel Prize. I mean, it is also unusual to be awarded that many years after your work. Because he was awarded for something he did in the 50s, 40 plus years later.
So there's a chance for any of us to get one at this point.
Yeah, so your proof about isosceles triangles from high school could still...
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I remember that still.
Your work in Mr. Montgomery's class could have
Mr. Montgomery, spatial fiche. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think he's the only person that has also that has received both the Nobel and the Abel Prize as well.
And they did actually scout him out because they were concerned about his mental state when they were considering him awarding the prize. That was true.
They didn't let him give a speech, though.
What's that?
He did not get to give a speech when he was awarded that. They had to come up and talk about him and his work and things, but they did not let him give a speech.
I also understand he was a Publisher Clearinghouse winner. No, I have no idea.
What's amazing is he's from Bluefield, West Virginia. Say what you want about West Virginia, but he's got to be the smartest guy to ever come out of West Virginia. and not be related to his...
not Bob Huggins?
He's a pretty good basketball coach, but he's not as smart as this guy. All right. Let's just rate this sucker, right? Come on, it's 5:20. Let's rate it already. Come on, we got a double feature.
Already?
Dan must be hungry again.
He's got a date.
Adam says it sounds like child abuse.
You don't have any? There's no freaky facts?
Oh, I have a few freaky facts.
I feel like we probably stated most of them.
Yeah, we did. We kind of hit on all of them.
All right. Do you want to just rate?
Well, let me just do. There's one line that I thought, Eric, that you would have really loved is when he was in the Pentagon, and the guy said, "Captain Rogers will escort you to the unrestricted area."
Not what I
missed. A little MCU for you.
Did miss that one.
And you had Betty Ross also in the movie.
Yeah,
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah. How about that?
Yep.
The Ang Lee Hulk that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked about it. when we were watching this movie, I was like, "That's the girl that I had a crush on," and then Richard said it first. Actually,
see, I remember her from The Rocketeer. That was the first time I saw her.
Yeah,
I've never seen that movie.
Yes. Oh, you should see that. movie.
Did you just hiccup?
I did it. Yeah, no.
It's video glitch.
Yeah, I'm just glitching. All right.
Max Headroom.
That's the wrong button. Okay. Dan, you're up. No, Dan.
All right, I'll do the thing. Oh, it's me.
It
Let's
is.
start with who picked it, as we always do.
That was me.
The Russian spy, Ed Harris.
Ed Harris. I told you why I like this movie just because of that class and kind of anything that's like that. I'm fascinated by mental health and all of those things. So and even just John Nash's story, like the way that he was able to overcome a lot of his symptoms on his own. Like he really did stop taking his medication and was able to take like how he did it in the movie basically, and set aside these things and ignore them and do something else and focus on the math and stuff. And that just is like amazing to me, especially with schizophrenia, that he was able to separate the two and be able to accomplish so much. So I just was like fascinated by that. I like this movie a lot. It is very slow. It is. I would agree with all of those comments that it's very slow. But I don't know. I love it. It's great. I think I also really like seeing Alicia's struggle in everything too, and how she has to try to basically raise her son alone because her husband's crazy and constantly be, worrying about him as well. And even just in real life, the fact that she stuck by him through all of that when they were divorced, she still let him live at the house to keep him from being homeless and on the streets with nothing and stuff. Like she just is absolutely incredible. And so I thought they did a really job kind of showing both sides of that, like with the scene with her in the bathroom where she just throws stuff, like she just wants it to be okay and it's not. I don't know. I just love this movie. I'm going to say 92.
92.
Attitude.
All right. Let's head over. Keep it in the family. We'll go to Cody. Wait, it didn't go. We'll go to Cody. There it is.
He's ready to rock.
I am. It was a nice transition. Brittany doing 92 and me being the Cody Crow 92.
I thought you were going to give it a 29.
No. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I've watched this movie before. I feel like so much of it, I recognized it. And then bits and pieces here I didn't in this. I thought it was really well done. I thought the acting was really well done. The characters or the actors I loved in this movie. The lady that I had a crush on growing up. The football coach from Radio was in it as the fake government guy. What was his name?
Harris.
No, what was his name in the thing?
Grindle.
Mr.
No, it was
Parrish.
Parrish.
Parker.
Thank you. I knew it began with a P.
Parrish. Whatever.
Archer.
But yeah, I thought the acting was really well done. I thought a lot of it was like it made you question it for a while, which was what was really fun and really exciting. And although I enjoyed it, there were still moments where it lulled me a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at my phone now. Brittany's like, are you paying attention? I'm like, kind of.
That was a spot on impersonation. I'm sure she appreciated that.
Yeah. But so it's not a movie that I would sit down and watch if it was on TV. I'm not in love with it. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever. So I'm probably going to side closer to the critics on this one. And I'm going to go with an 84.
All right.
Critics were like a 73. My God.
I know.
Yeah.
It's man in the middle.
I'll go over to Stacy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Have you finished it yet? Is it over?
Yeah, have you seen the end?
No.
Fade to black. It says Ron Howard. There, that's the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like I said earlier, I thought I had seen this movie, and then I watched the beginning, and I'm like, briefly while I was on the phone and cooking dinner at the same time, and realized I only saw the beginning, and I didn't remember what was happening. And I don't know what was going on. And I didn't know what was happening. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, he's working for the government? What do you mean they just set this thing in his arm? And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. And I'm looking on Wikipedia, and I'm like, what the heck? I can't believe they did that. And then Reagan says to me, oh, Dad said, he's hallucinating and stuff. And I went, oh my God.
Spoiler.
Just enough to know what was happening. God. So, but Ed Harris is great. Russell Crowe was really good playing this little West Virginia accent and looking goofy, and just he did really well with that. Jennifer Connelly, I did not like as a Salvadoran woman because his wife was Salvadoran.
Yeah.
So that just did not ring true at all. The baby playing their son was a girl. You can see that in the tub when she almost drowned. And, but I liked, the filming was good. It was set in, it's historic, and I like that. And I think I'm going to give it a 78 for what I did see.
All right. COVID Wade.
Hey.
Is that an EriDan shirt behind you?
No, it's an Edinburgh shirt.
That's Edinburgh.
Okay.
It begins with an E. That's not
Edinburgh Dan.
Ed and Dan.
So yeah, I mean it was really well done. I don't know. I mean, he won the Nobel Prize and everything. Okay, but yeah, the story was kind of weird. But they did do a good job of like sucking you in, not being sure if he was really seeing people or if it was like a government conspiracy till the episode where the son was she was giving him the bath and his wife figured it out. So I mean, it did a really good job there. And I don't know if I'd go out and watch it again. I'm kind of puzzled why it got the best picture. I mean, the only thing I can figure is that all the crazies liked it, so they all voted for it.
Wait.
There's your movie tagline right there. All the crazies love it.
He loved it. Yeah, nah.
Give that score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know why.
So
It felt vindicated or something.
It does better in red states. We're not sure why.
Wow.
So I'm gonna give it an 80.
An 80. All right, Dr. Rosen.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. I mean, I have a soft spot for real life scientific or engineering geniuses. Imitation Game is another excellent movie because it's similar in that regard. Alan Turing, very interesting. John Nash, very interesting. I expected to be playing I Can See Clearly Now when we came in as the intro music, but I probably would have gotten you banned.
Right from the beginning.
But I wish they hadn't fictionalized it as much as they did.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the things they left out because you only have so much time in a movie and it was already a long movie.
Mm-hmm.
But leaving out his first child with his mistress was a little strange. Leaving out his divorce was a little strange. Leaving out the number of times he was in and out of institutions was a little strange. That hurt it a little bit in my eyes, but it didn't hurt it it hurt it only in relation to real life. The only thing that hurt it as a movie to me was two things. One was I didn't really need to see all of the insulin shock therapy scene. That was just, I don't know. I felt given some of the things they left out, that could have easily been left out.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really add anything to his character, in my opinion. And the other was by pushing his delusions so over the top, trying to make them visual, they also made them less believable. And as Stacy was saying about the radium diode in the arm was just like, you see that and you go, no.
I didn't. I went, what?
And Ron Howard even said the day he was filming that, he was worried that that's where he would lose the audience, that scene. But other aspects of it I loved. The stuff that rang more true to life that was real. Like, as Brittany was saying, I was fascinated by the fact because they give the impression, in fact, he even says he's been taking some of the newer medications. When he wasn't institutionalized, he refused to take medicine. Mm-hmm. That was not something that he did. He rationalized and reasoned his way, not out of his schizophrenia. He still suffered from schizophrenia, but into being able to deal with his schizophrenia and still live a relatively normal life, which is just fascinating. Mm-hmm. That they dramatized it, but the scene where he's he realizes the little girl isn't growing up, and that gives him something to latch onto to say, I know this can't be real.
Right.
While I'm sure that scene is totally fictional, the idea that that's how he approached it is fascinating to me. He was a man, and for someone whose mind was his everything, to not be able to trust your own mind would have been a real hell. And Dr. Rosen touches on that. So that it was a very good movie, good performances. The screenwriting is the only thing that let me down in certain areas. But I still really liked it and give it an 85.
85. All right. I like the fact that Christopher Plummer was Dr. Rosen, who was also in one of my favorite movies, Somewhere in Time.
I've erased that movie from my memory, so I didn't remember that.
Oh,
you need to see it again.
Before I get my score, though, my mom thought it was well done, but I don't think I'll watch it again. She gave it an 89.
Wow.
Rebecca Rosato gives it an 80.
That's my friend.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
nice.
Here we go. Adam hasn't put in yet, and Richard hasn't put in yet.
Did you read the end of her comment?
Kind of like mathematics.
Kind of like mathematics. All right.
That's true.
So,
Very
kind
true.
of like mathematics.
All right. Well, here's Richard's. Stories to fantasize for me seemed like an odd way to pay homage. I love when people say homage. They go, oh, it's a homage. No, it's not.
Or people that go, Viola.
Yeah, Viola. He gives it an 80.
My goodness.
I like the movie. I did like the beginning. When they were playing the game and he said, there's no way you should have won. The game's flawed. I wish they would have done a callback and explained why. Like the whole movie, because they did kind of show they're going to play later. Like I saw that part. I'm like, well, why was it flawed? Like, what did you miss in that game? And like I said, it was, I'm not a Russell Crowe fan at all, but this movie, I think, was probably one of his best. But it did win Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Score, Best Director, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Editing, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Won 8 Academy Awards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bad year.
A little bit of hype that year.
I think. Who got Best Supporting Actress?
Jennifer Connelly, probably.
Jennifer Connelly, yeah, I was going to say.
Would she be a lead?
It was the little girl.
No.
Who was the little girl? Because she looks familiar.
It's your mom.
Let's see. It was for Best Picture. It was up against Gosford Park, which I do remember.
Oh.
In the Bedroom, which I do not remember. The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, and Moulin Rouge.
Look at Brady's face.
Moulin Rouge. I do like.
Wow, I can't believe Hollywood didn't pick that.
Yes, Jennifer Connelly was Best Supporting Actress. She was not considered a leading character.
Interesting.
Mainly because, she came in, later in the film, I guess. But Ron Howard got Best Director.
Yeah, she beat Helen Mirren and Maggie.
How many did it win?
It won 8. And because of 8, I'm giving it an 80. There we go. Anybody else in the comments? We haven't seen Adams yet.
No, we haven't heard from Adam. I don't know. Did Reagan get all the way through it, or was she
No, she did not.
bailed? Okay. This is my score is very similar to what everybody else, or at least the majority of people, have been given, because I'm on the fence with it, where it's like, you know what? It was great storytelling. It was excellent casting. Just the story just wasn't all there for me. Like, it just, it's one of those movies where it's like, I don't hate the fact that I watched it. It was not a waste of time.
Right.
I enjoyed the story, and it was well told to the point where you did have to wonder, like, it's like, well, wait, is this going to be, is this person really there? And you just sort of, it did keep you kind of guessing and wondering. So it did barely keep you holding on. That, but so I ended up at an 80 as well. Enjoyable, but probably not, I don't know if I would rewatch it, but then again, in 10 years, if I stumbled across it, maybe I would. I don't know. So, but but solid.
I did really like at the beginning the interaction between him and the other students. That byplay was really fun. The little put downs and
I just love Paul Bettany. I was so disappointed to find out that he wasn't real.
Right?
I would love a roommate like Paul Bettany.
He was so much fun.
That's why you had to invent him.
Okay, I have a
He had to
question.
invent a roommate as cool as Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
Why did he push the desk out the window, and did it really happen? I
Probably.
came in at the end of that, and I'm like, what?
It does sort of like a Sixth Sense. It makes you want to go back and rewatch the first half
Yeah.
Right, knowing
before
that he's
you knew
fake.
that he was fully delusional, just to see what you could pick up.
Yeah.
And then here comes Adam's score. You ready, everybody? Here's Adam's comment.
Boy.
Oh no.
Always
Oh, no.
Oh
entertaining.
no.
Always
Oh,
entertaining.
no.
I dozed off twice.
52.
It automatically drops my score a lot. Adam, if I use dozing off as a score drop off, I would not give a movie over a 10 ever. But the fact that it beat Lord of the Rings makes it even lower. 52.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's
So you're mad at it for beating Lord of the Rings. I don't
Which is
understand
what
that.
the Academy did, not what anybody involved with this movie did.
That's like here in Seattle. Everybody hates the Steelers because of the Super Bowl that the Steelers beat the Seahawks. I'm like, why? Well, the refs were horrible. I go, then why would you hate the Steelers? Hate the refs.
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
That's hilarious.
Don't hate me
player.
because I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't hate the play. I hate the game.
So one thing I wish they would have put in the movie, because there was like a couple like lines that made me giggle, but the one that I wish they would have put in there, he was offered the job as the dean of like the math faculty
In Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, and this is what got him, I think, institutionalized. I think the first time he was institutionalized is because he turned it down and he said no, he didn't want to waste time on such silly things, and he wanted to be the emperor of Antarctica. And then he like
Then he was about to be crowned or inaugurated as emperor of Antarctica. Yes.
Yeah, so he had to get on a plane for Europe. Like he needed to leave. He couldn't be the dean of the math faculty, which is what he loved. And I'm like, that just of all the things, that would have been such a hilarious
Red flag. That's a red flag.
The incoherent speech that he gave when he ran out of the building. I'm not sure he ran out of the building. I think that was fictionalized, but that was one of the first times people were really concerned about his mental health, because he did give a rambling, incoherent speech when he was accepting that award.
I just like anytime somebody says Dean, it makes me think of Jerry Lewis. Dean. Dean Martin reference.
Okay.
Hey, lady.
All right. Well, I mean, honestly, pretty consistent across the board.
80.
80.00.
Wow.
Tied with Trading Places. Oh no, one below Trading Places.
Well, a little below Trading Places, but above Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Come on. More than a respectable showing.
So you and I both gave it an 80 and ended at 80.
Well, actually, lots of people gave 80s.
Yeah, I gave an 80.
Richard gave an 80. Rebecca gave an 80.
Adam gave a 52.
Wadey gave an 80. Stacey gave a 70.
Yeah, right, a little bit, huh?
An 80. So we had lots of 80s across the board. And then Adam's score and some of the other people balanced out to an 80. Exactly an 80. Just like that. So, well, now things get super exciting. So hold on to your butts. Because it's double feature time.
Feliz Navidad.
What you might do to us, Eric.
Oh, you know, if I get it, everybody's in trouble. So, okay, so the rules are simple. If you've never had a chance to pick a double feature before, if you're able to be here next week, and you're watching us now and you have two movies you would like to suggest, I believe of the people who are joining us currently, we've got Adam, myself. Dan's mother, if she's in the comments and wants to be part of this, you just need to yell out Richard. Same thing. If you want to pick a double feature, and Rebecca, who's out there in the comments. If you would be able to join us next week and you want to choose the double feature, we'll put you on the wheel as well. So we'll give everybody in the comments a few moments to respond, to say if they're going to participate. We'll find out who gets on the wheel as we get lower and lower. Richard is in. So start thinking about what your two movies are. We got to hear from Adam. We're assuming Adam's been waiting for a double feature since we started double features. Adam shared half a double feature once when Dan donated his double features.
What a guy. What a guy.
I'll tell you, it seems like forever.
I'll tell you. What a guy.
I know. So we'll wait for hear from Dan's mom.
What does the wheel look like for the double features then? Who's on it?
So far, let me see. Hold on, I'll pull it up here. Let me see. I can share my screen.
Share my screen.
So I'm waiting to see if Dan's mother is going to respond. We're going to wait and see if Brittany is going to participate. Rebecca, not Brittany. Sorry, Brittany, you already had your chance.
Rebecca says no.
Okay. Rebecca says no.
Rebecca, do it.
It's intimidating. Picking 2 movies is very
Peer pressure. Peer
It
pressure.
is. That was the first thing. I literally didn't even watch the movie. Cody's like, get on and watch this. And I did. And then I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I got it. Like, what do I think? I've never done this before.
I'm a great influence, guys.
That's why
That was a terrible flop.
That's why you pick Police Academy 1 and 2. It's real easy.
That's true.
Shut your mouth, David.
Mother.
Iron Man 2 and 3. We haven't done those yet.
There we go.
And Conjuring 1 and 2. Oh,
wow.
See, better than many. Actually, Eric, I would much rather you pick Iron Man 2 and 3 than
right.
you really pick.
All right, it's down to it. So, Dave,
Richard, you're my only hope.
Oh, man, Adam has chose excellent movies.
Adam has chosen very widely divergent movies.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to give this a little shuffle.
Like it matters.
You know, hey, I'm changing fate.
Oh, now it's Richard, Adam, and Eric.
Look at that.
It's Richard, Eric, and Adam. Okay.
So much more random.
Could be. Could be.
Did you set music yet?
Oh, you know what? I did, and it doesn't play it. I don't know. Something's wrong with my browser. So I get no sound when I push the button. And I'm going to push the button. Yes, finally happened.
Finally. Oh, my God. 2 years
My
in the
computer
making.
breaking up. I can't.
Wow. Well, I accept this honor.
So we're watching the Pirate movie and Grease 2.
No.
Oh, damn.
We're going to do
Sergeant Pepper's.
Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
And
We have
Grease
to do
2.
Sergeant Pepper.
What?
We have to do Sergeant Pepper. This has been, and I apologize because at the end of the day, this week's going to cost everybody a little money because these movies are not available anywhere.
Good job.
These movies are available for free, and they're not movies worth paying for. So it's a double
come
win.
on. This is a fabulous movie. Our double feature. So here's our double feature. These are available for rent from all your most common streaming services, and I am sure at your local library.
Yes, Dan. You are
called Era Hell.
Adam.
Adam, I do apologize. Adam's going to have a hard time this week. And I'm prepared for people's honest scores. So Peter Frampton and the Peaches star in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from 1978. And we're going to pair that very nicely with Yesterday.
Oh, okay. So you're only half bad. I'll give you that.
Right? So we've got 2 movies featuring Beatles songs. And so this is Yesterday, again, available to stream. This one is available on DirecTV, and I believe it's FX. And Tubo.
And we just recently watched one of that same director's movies in Love Actually.
Well, there you go.
And Yesterday is available in the Beaver County Library System.
There you go.
And I have no idea because I don't want to know who directed Sgt. Pepper's.
Actually, I think it was self-directed. I think the movie just directed itself.
Yes.
Michael Schultz.
Michael Schultz. Wow.
Michael Schultz. Born in 1938, also known for The Last Dragon, Cooley High, Crush Groove, and Scavenger Hunt.
Oh, so
Car Wash. 1976's Car Wash.
He did Car Wash?
Yeah,
That's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
I believe, let me see if I'm right about this. He also directed, I should have chosen this one. This one might have been more
You still can.
I'm right, because he also directed Disorderlies. From
Not to be confused with Jerry Lewis's The Disorderly Orderly.
So there we have a double feature, 2 musicals. If you can stand your excitement.
I'd rather sit.
I've never seen Yesterday, to be honest with you.
It was a nice fun, guys. Thanks.
That's not too bad.
So if we see you all in 2 weeks, I will totally understand. Could just be me next week.
It'd be a high-rated movies.
Be top of the list, past Forrest Gump. Get ready. Okay, I will be honest with you. Some of you know who Denise is. Denise, hasn't been able to join us for a while. Denise, after I recommended that she watch Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, got a copy, loves it.
Oh, good.
Absolutely loved the movie. Thought it was fantastic. Has watched it multiple times. So, give it a shot. It might not be for you. I know it's not for certain people. It's a movie that I know is not for everyone. But if it is for you, you may love it. You may come away, and as a he might need therapy after.
If there are Beatles songs you really love and just want them here done much inferior versions, it's a great movie for you.
No, unique takes. Just because these versions exist does not take away from the fact that
I'm sorry, I love George Burns, but no.
Wait, George Burns is in this?
Spoil it. George Burns is amazing in this.
Does he play God?
No. Well,
is John Denver in this?
Kind of. John Denver is not in this.
I know I've seen it.
Aerosmith is in this.
Come together.
Cooper is in this.
Is Meatloaf in it?
Steve Martin is in this.
Everything you're
Sergeant
saying
Pepper?
is just making me more exciting.
Oh yeah, Steve Martin is in this.
Yeah.
And which one are we talking about?
We've got so much to talk about. This bottom line is, even if you hate it, there's going to be a lot to talk about next week. So if you have trouble finding it, let me know, and I will help you. And we will talk about that next week. But now we're going to talk about what else you do. And there it is. Nothing. So this week, I will share. Adam has been asking repeatedly, and I have watched the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker on HBO, starring John Cena. It's delightful. It's really good. It's no Marvel. It's not Hawkeye, but it's really good, and it's in every episode is slightly better. And so I enjoy. I'm not a huge John Cena fan, but I find this is very enjoyable. So I would recommend that. It is a bit vulgar. It's actually extremely vulgar. So not with the kids.
Is it like Deadpool vulgar or beyond that?
It's Deadpool vulgar, absolutely. If you watch The Suicide Squad, right, which this character came from, and was also directed by James Gunn, as this is, it's right on par with that. It's a continuation of that story and a continuation of that appropriateness or inappropriateness, depending on how you want to look at it.
I honestly don't think I've watched anything but our movie this week and YouTube videos of car things,
and probably some football
and a lot of football. All the football the past 8 games have all been a field goal.
I really wanted the Bengals to win the coin toss in overtime and just march down the field and do to Kansas City exactly what Buffalo had done to them, but not what happened.
But poor Mahomes.
He did throw an interception in the first 13 seconds.
But he gets the Patrick Price.
Yeah.
Do you notice they haven't run those? I've seen all the State Farm commercials. He's not in any of them anymore, and neither is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he was. I saw several of them just yesterday.
Oh, I did not see.
Aaron Rodgers ones, but I saw Mahomes.
I saw a couple today, but I didn't see them. I have not really watched much, but my son, who turned 17 on Friday, and I cannot believe my son turned 17, started watching The Office finally. So he's finally getting into The Office.
The American version, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh, how about this? We got 2 comments in the section. Well, actually, Dan's mom says that yesterday is great.
Not the movie. Yesterday Sunday was fantastic.
Oh, it was a wonderful Sunday.
Big Rams fan, my mom.
And Richard shared that he watched Jungle Cruise and really liked it.
Yeah, we watched that one. I wasn't sure how it was, but I fell asleep twice.
It was enough. Oh, and this travesty. What is that about? DVDs. What is this? 2010.
We were watching a few episodes last night, and then at midnight it turned off. Well, this episode we were watching at 10 after 12 was off, and then it said, "Watch the next episode for $3.99." Well, then
that's how they suck you in.
You're a dead to me, John.
Harsh.
I watched the first
episode. Raising Hope. We started rewatching Raising Hope.
That was funny. That was a
pretty funny show.
Richard introduced me to it back like when we were dating, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Like it's got the right amount of like sitcom comedy, but like these moments that still make you cry at the end of every episode.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the same guy. Yeah, Greg Garcia. That's the same guy that did My Name Is Earl.
My Name Is Earl. Yeah, it's a bunch of the same cast. Yep.
So I watched the next episode of Boba Fett, and Mandalorian shows up. So I have no idea where this thing's going.
I've heard that. I did hear that.
Was that a spoiler?
Probably.
I haven't seen any of it yet.
And then Hawkeye and Thanos appear. It was really all over the place.
Speaking of which, I did watch most of Phase 4 this week.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot more work when there's the series that are in part of Phase 4. So I have not watched Hawkeye yet, but I've watched everything else, and the Eternals is still terrible.
Yeah, I watched the Eternals this week. I agree with you, Eric.
I was really hopeful that within context of watching everything in a row and watching it a second time where you didn't have to try to understand the convoluted storyline, that I'd be like, I understand what their motivation is now. And it's like, no, this is still terrible.
The problem with Eternals was it minimized everything else in the MCU, basically. Like it's
just bad.
Drastically changes the scope of things. But this week I watched the first episode of How I Met Your Father, and I was conflicted because I'm expecting so much because of how good How I Met Your Mother was.
But I think you have to give it time. If you only watch,
I know I need to. I only watched one episode.
It's going to be also hard to top the cast of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
That's the tough part, is that the way a show that manages to catch lightning in a bottle with the casting is very hard to duplicate.
They did say in one of the episodes, I guess they paid some type of tribute sort of somehow to Bob Saget. Because he was the voice in How I Met Your Father.
He was the narrator.
Yeah.
I know in the first episode it said in loving memory of him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know I didn't know if it was in the episode or something before or after, but I just
a little credit at the end there.
They acknowledged him,
All right. This is exciting. I went and saw Yakov Smirnoff performing live on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
What a country.
He's 5'5".
Is he still doing What a Country jokes?
He did a little bit, very few, but he did this Smirnoff joke where I come to the country, I see a sign, we love Smirnoff. I'm like, what a country.
It's just like, Jeff Foxworthy can't completely give up the redneck jokes because people expected of him.
Well, yeah, there's an audience that's what they're there for.
Yeah, and he did a joke. He said, when I was a little kid in grammar school, they would say, who is your father? And he would say the USSR. And who is your mother? And you'd have to say the Communist Party. And what do you want to be? And you'd have to say, I want to be an electrician, or I want to be, whatever. And they was, that's just what they did. And he goes, and when I realized how to get people to laugh, they said, who is your father? And I said, the USSR. And who is your mother? And I said, the Communist Party. And what do you want to be? And I said, an orphan.
Nice.
Great joke.
That's a great joke. That's solid.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Go to Branson, Missouri. He has his own theater there. He's been
there
for 28 years. Yeah, the Yakov Smirnoff Theater.
That's hilarious.
But he just talked about his whole story of how he came from Russia, and he was living in a one-room apartment with his parents until he was 26.
Oh my God.
And they'd make him, like, when they wanted to get sexual, they'd make him look out the window. And he goes, the neighbors are doing it too. He goes, how can you tell? He goes, because their son's looking at me.
That's
really funny show.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody's had a chance. Have you ever seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Nope.
I don't know if you've watched this before. My sons are obsessed with this show, and it's probably more inappropriate than it should be for how much they love this show. It's on Netflix, obviously, but but like so, and I'm doing the bonding thing where it's like they really want me to watch this with them again because it's like the fourth time they've seen it, and they're like, "You need to watch this with us." So we watched season 2 over the past couple of weeks. 48 episodes.
Wow,
gosh.
Season 2.
Are they like 30 minutes each?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they're super long.
Meanwhile, at the same time you're watching the MCU.
I have been instructed to rest. So there has been a lot of resting happening with my leg situation. So yeah, same time I'm watching the MCU, I have been power watching. The 49 episodes took probably maybe 2 weeks to get through those. And unfortunately it's 5 seasons. So and
Wow.
every
1,000 episodes.
Every season is about 48 episodes.
I am slightly intrigued by the new Kristen Bell series.
Oh, yeah, that does look interesting, doesn't it?
Although apparently there's been a little bit of a kerfuffle because episode 5 has a bit more sexual content than people were expecting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window.
That's I do remember that.
Adam's been watching the Punisher Warzone. It'll never win any awards, but it's the best of the Punisher movies.
Well, that's really setting the bar high. The best of the Punisher movies.
Yeah, that's like having the nicest trailer in the trailer park. No offense to anyone in the trailer park.
A couple weeks ago, I watched the best of the Daredevil movies.
And Reagan's comment so big it blocks her father out of the shot.
Wow. That was her full point.
That's it, because he's in COVID room right now. So
Yeah,
right, exactly. That's why he can't breathe on us.
This is his mask.
And there's so much to say there. You can read it yourself.
Wait, we don't watch this show to read, Dan.
Okay, all right. World Surf League kicked off their championship tour, and Bethany Hamilton is an injury replacement, so she is in this tour stop, which is awesome. Wait, are we reading a telegram?
No, she's in this tour stop.
Oh, this tour stop, which is awesome.
Yeah, comment after stop.
CT, and I haven't seen her live before.
That's exciting.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to watch her. We've been watching surfing and Australian Survivor.
Nice.
So
Australian. Oh, Dragon Ball is so good, but it is so many episodes.
That's the thing.
Every other is a filler.
The best portrayal of the Punisher in movie and TV is probably in the Tick series when he's portrayed as the spoof Overkill, which is actually quite funny. If you've never seen the live-action Tick, not the one that Patrick Warburton was in, but the one that he co-produced that was on Amazon Prime a couple years back.
Oh, this is the more recent one. I never watched that one.
Yeah, they have the character Overkill that's very much a Punisher clone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Even talks like the Punisher.
Oh, Bethany Hamilton. She's the one that had her arm chewed off.
yes,
Soul Surfer is the movie about her.
yes.
How about that?
She just shared a video the other day, I think, on Instagram of one of her sons on a surfboard. That was really cool because he's really
He's
tiny.
amazing.
He's
He's
super
like
tiny.
5.
He's so good. Yeah,
He's like 5.
that's
She's
crazy.
unstoppable. That's the name of her documentary. It's Unstoppable.
Yeah, just get a mag.
I don't need easy. I just need possible.
That's an album.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, geez.
So here's a thought. I just want to get you guys' opinion real quick.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's just going back to my sitcom idea. If we did 2 10-episode seasons per year, like we did 10 episodes like in the spring and then 10 episodes in the fall, is that better than doing like a 22 episode with a bunch of interruptions with, and is it better to launch them all at once or do it once a week so people have to keep tuning in?
What do you prefer? Basically, is the question.
Yeah.
What would
you
generate
like-
the most revenue?
Do you prefer?
Well,
I don't know because TV's so different now, and watching
a broadcast, you can't really do the 10 in a row.
right.
They make, I think 10 and then 10, but bingeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to have good cliffhangers to do 10 once a week or something like that at the end.
Yeah, and sitcoms don't. Have
I don't know.
cliffhangers.
Yeah, sitcoms for the most part don't tend to have.
Yeah.
No, they definitely be calling that you want to watch them.
I do have one that has a cliffhanger when we go to the class reunion and I misspell something on the sign.
Adam says split them.
Yeah. All right.
Adam says split them. But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know if that'll be your choice.
No, it probably won't.
What's happening with this, Dan?
Things are happening. Mr. Springfield has said yes. At least his manager has. So I guess that's as good as him saying yes.
And what's he going to be doing?
Playing my father,
Oh my God.
Max, who is the lead singer of the band Gravenhurst.
Things are happening.
Yeah, things have been happening. I haven't been talking about it a lot, but there's been a lot
No,
of time
you
to talk.
haven't. Not at
That's
all.
why, because I'm just,
Well, he's
You don't want to jinx it.
I just wanted to, all of a sudden be like, boom, here's the pilot. Watch
That's
it.
awesome.
boom.
We will do a screening just with our crew here for pilot,
Yeah.
not broadcast, but that's
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we have some other people involved that have some names to it. All right.
Yeah.
Sergeant Pepper's really put a damper on things.
I'm actually looking forward to it.
So
I think
there are only 6 copies of that DVD in all of Pennsylvania libraries.
How do you
Three
know
of them are in
that?
Chippewa.
Because
That's 'cause the
I
rest of
work
them
in a
destroyed
library,
in anger.
Cody.
So
I'm in
does
charge of that.
She has access.
so does Rebecca Rosato.
I am in charge of that at my library, looking up stuff that we don't have to see where else it is in the state, and there are 6.
Dang.
How many copies do you really need to watch? Let's
You
be
only
honest.
need 1, but you need them to
Zero.
send it to you.
0.
I might have it on every medium available.
Carnegie Library has it.
All right, now I will say you have a choice because you can stream this movie for $4 pretty much everywhere. Or if you think there's a chance that this might be your new favorite movie, you can buy it for $9.
Wow.
Or you can go to any Goodwill and probably find a copy for 50 cents.
Hey now,
Well, wait,
$1.99
VHS tape for
probably.
$7.95.
you can get a
You
VHS.
can buy it and donate it to your local library that doesn't have one.
Yeah, you could do that.
Blu-ray is only $17.
Or we could do a private viewing party.
We could, but I mean, the hushed silence would be as people are just in awe of what they're seeing.
Actually, I'm trying to remember if I ever saw it when it came out.
I was obsessed with this soundtrack growing up.
Yeah. Was it on TV at all?
They played
I'm
it a
fixing
lot.
the hole, or the rain gets in. Starts
Some-
my mind to wandering.
Because I kind of remember watching it on TV.
You remember before HBO, before Showtime, there was a TV channel you could subscribe to called Spotlight.
Spotlight, of course.
Yeah.
This was one of the 4 movies Spotlight had.
And one of the other ones was
played on permanent rotation.
Somewhere in Time was one of the other ones.
This explains a lot, guys.
Who did we lose?
Huh?
Oh, Cody.
Cody.
I'm
Cody
still
won.
here.
Cody,
Oh,
Cody
okay.
got a better offer.
My cat unplugged my camera. Hang on.
No, it's always the cat.
Cat grew thumb.
It's like the rat from Endgame.
Spotlight shining bright day and night.
I'm just thinking of like the sweet poetic. It's not poetic justice. I don't know. Sweet revenge when Richard has to sit through both of these, and then he gets a double feature and picks The Conjuring 1 and 2, and Eric has to sit through those.
Eric, Stacy won't. Stacy won't watch them.
There are definitely people who won't watch. It might happen. I was obsessed with
And
even
meanwhile, the rest of us are collateral damage in their war.
This is not.
I'm like, I just want to watch Power Rangers.
You're gonna get a chance.
Oh, I know. We're watching
You're
Power
getting
Rangers.
more and more spaces on the wheel as the weeks go on. In fact, I'm doubling everybody's spaces who was here this week on the wheel for next week. So you're even getting a space, even though. So how about that? Right? How's that for the boom?
Chickens wimps.
How about this for everybody? Take a listen. You ready?
Oh man! Oh, that takes me back. That takes me back.
Was that national? Because I don't think Wade saw it.
We had this.
Yeah.
Oh man! That is the most beautiful thing I've seen in a long time.
No,
Watch,
my
it's gonna say Sergeant Pepper.
cousins probably had that. So that's probably where we saw it.
Going to commit
Oh my!
murder.
New Year's Eve.
Wait, is that
Operations headed
No,
for
that's
violence.
Now, when this guy says murder at midnight, he means midnight in each of the time zones all across the country.
Because this year, someone's idea of a good time
What
is
movie is
deadly.
this?
Yeah, make your screen taller. Make that window taller, and it'll be bigger for us. To see. No, I mean like the actual size of the window.
Oh,
He
They're talking
strikes.
through it, though.
If you resize the window.
Now what do you think? Will this be a
Ooh.
brand new year or just
Wow, evil.
I'm probably gonna kick you off for this.
Story.
I remember watching that one.
I'm sure one of these is going to
for
say.
centuries priceless?
You think one of these will definitely say.
You want to see if there's a Sergeant Pepper bumper?
Yeah.
They played the pirate movie and Sergeant Pepper on this, like on repeat nonstop.
Oh my gosh.
That's
This
where I was
is a film about
exposed.
living
Mr.
and
Mom.
loving the good life
Nope.
in California.
Very apt, Carol. Very apt.
Cereal.
I saw that in theaters.
No, it's
Cereal.
Oh my
Christopher
god.
Lee, Martin Mull. Yeah.
Wow.
Why won't that stop?
Oh,
Oh my
dang.
God.
And then there's that. That's the scene from Sergeant Pepper.
My
True
gosh.
Association of America.
Whoa.
Intended for mature audiences.
That's
Spotlight.
That's amazing.
Do you remember?
But
at the
I'm bringing
movie
my
theater-
Sergeant Pepper memorabilia for next week.
Oh, jeez.
Can't wait.
But do you remember at Showcase Cinemas? It was da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I missed that. I
Yeah.
used to love that.
Yeah, one other thing I watched this week was the Best of the 80s show on Disney Plus with Rob Lowe, where they count down like the 10 best inventions of the 80s and the food and all that stuff.
Oh wow.
It was kind of interesting.
That and having Rob Lowe host it, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. He actually did pretty good.
Wade's been watching a lot of TV and I didn't even know it.
Well,
Wow. Now that he's sequestered, you don't know what he's doing.
Nope.
He's reorganized all those drawers behind him, and you'll have no idea where to find anything.
No, he hasn't.
I don't think so.
That
Alphabetized all of your clothes.
He's dug a tunnel,
Probably.
although it looks like an attic.
No,
Yeah.
that's the attic. Yeah.
He's in there with his imaginary roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany's in there.
Reagan says he's watching Dexter, apparently.
Yes.
He keeps trying to get me to watch the rest of the seasons, and I'm like, I don't think so.
The driver's seat.
Adam's apparently watching Jeff Goldblum. I have not
Oh,
watched
the Jeff
second
Goldblum
movie.
series is great.
I watched the first. We liked the first, but we haven't watched the second.
Really?
And my son has watched Hamilton 3 times this week. He's
Yes.
watched.
So good.
I started that with Cody and then I never finished it.
Oh no, sorry, Linda Hamilton. He's watched Linda Hamilton.
Yes, he's been watching the Terminator film.
There you go.
And Chuck.
Hamilton musical. You got my arm. You got my arm. Sorry.
Terminator, Terminator. I
my
see
God.
a Terminator.
Terminator, I barely know her.
Oh my.
All right.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing all of you in 2 weeks. No, I'm sorry.
Then after that, we can watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, so we can forget we watched Sergeant Pepper.
Oh, that's the way you
Well, no, you would watch Paycheck.
They put a penny in your pocket. You can go back before the movies existed. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. It'll all be.
We can watch Spotlight together.
Shining bright day and night.
Oh, Lord.
So good. It's weird. It's weird. If you thought Scott Pilgrim was weird,
Which I did.
but it's just wild. It's just wild. It's And yesterday I think is going to be relatively normal. So I think
Yesterday's a good movie.
Yesterday's a great
I
one.
did like
Yeah,
it.
it's a good movie.
I've seen it. That's the funny thing is
You have not seen
haven't
it?
seen it?
I'm confident in it, and I felt it was a perfect mix. So I've actually waited since we started this. Waited
Wow.
to mix it with my Sergeant Pepper because I'm like, well, there you go. There's 2 because it could have been Sergeant Pepper and the pirate movie.
Yeah, I thought it was Aerosmith is in both of them, so I thought.
Oh, see, now a spoiler.
I think that, there's a point in yesterday, I saw it in the theater with Josh, and there's a point where I literally said, holy shit, extremely loud during the movie. And he was like, he didn't understand why I said it, but you probably will say it as well.
I'm excited to see it.
I'm curious to watch it again. It's been a little while since we've seen it, but I remember.
It's a very interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the pirate movie from 1982.
Oh,
You mean-
yeah, Christy McNichol.
Finest moment, which is saying very little.
Christopher Atkins.
Yeah.
Pumping, blowing. I mean, come on.
This is the consolation that it could have easily been Sergeant Pepper and the Pirate movie, or like
I
two of
would.
my favorite
I'd have no
movies
problem with that.
of all
man.
time.
And you have a sibling, well, at least one sibling that would have preferred that probably, but I think she likes Yesterday too.
Well,
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, we'll get to this. But this
Oh,
one, I
man.
believe this one is going to
Yeah,
be.
I think that 5.4 is a little generous.
Shall we see what the Rotten Tomatoes is for Sergeant Pepper?
Sergeant, well, on IMDb it's 4.2.
Dave, how many times have you seen the Pirate movie?
Who are you asking?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
Oh, you said that your wife.
I have a spouse who greatly enjoys it. Doesn't mean I've watched it.
Okay, I was just curious.
Wow.
Here we. This might be a low for us. This might be a record.
Oh.
Although that's Stallone Dolly Parton movie.
That does. What's that? Rhinehouse?
Yep.
Rhinestone. Yeah, Rhinestone.
Yep.
Also, you might like that if you like that movie.
14% for Rhinestone is downright stellar.
Yeah. Now that said, if you look at the Amazon reviews of the people who bought it, it does very well on Amazon. So
yeah, people go out of their way to buy it, like it.
People who love it really
Well,
love
it's the
it.
Christy McNichol fan club.
Yeah.
They all go on there and they up the ratings.
After watching the complete series of Family 4 times, they have to go on to Pirate movie.
I'm in particular, Sergeant Pepper gets very. If you wanted the Sergeant Pepper DVD, people rave about it on Amazon.
There you go, Eric. It
Not
runs,
so
in the
much.
it runs in the family.
I am more than prepared.
That's right. That's okay.
Just say I'm happy to hear people's honest reviews next week when we talk about the performance of Peter Frampton and Barry Gibb.
Have you seen how many acting credits he has?
Who, Peter Frampton?
Yeah, Peter Frampton.
Is this it?
No, he's more than one, but not by much.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, there's 1,700 reviews on it.
If you discount music videos, it shrinks even more. So,
You know, I never had
That'll be a freaky fact for you.
I didn't know that the Beatles weren't in it.
Oh no, definitely not.
Oh no.
This is 1978.
Billy Preston's in it.
Yes.
It was arguably the fifth Beatle. Yeah.
Sandy Farina, is that Dennis Farina's wife?
Oh man.
Donald Pleasance is in it.
He doesn't sing though, as far as I recall.
Isn't he the bald guy?
Leaf
He is
Garrett's
the
in it.
bald guy. Yeah,
Leif
there's-
Garrett.
Although Maurice
Garrett.
Tina Turner's in it. Carol Channing's in it.
Well, now you're into the people that are in the closing number, which doesn't really count.
Oh.
You know, there's a large group of people that they gather together. It's sort of like We Are the World at the end. It's just
were there two hit songs that came off this? Because Aerosmith's Come Together did get a lot of airplay.
Absolutely.
And Earth, Winds, and Fire's Got to Get You Into My Life got a lot of airplay.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Those two. And of course, well, we can't talk about this.
We can't talk about
people experience.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, we don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Pepper. No.
Yeah. You know, I could have put Encanto on the list. That would have been actually really good, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. I don't.
You love what you love. It is what it is.
Love what you love. And if one of you walks away liking this would be
I'll be shocked. Yeah.
Ouch. I want to go watch this right now. I'm so excited. You have no idea.
I'll give you this, Eric. If my memory serves me right, I like it better than someone else's possibly favorite movie who's in this broadcast. So
Better than Somewhere in Time? Is that what you're going to say?
I was not going to say that, but that's
You
what I was
said
thinking.
it.
Sure.
Well, I think it's the spotlight curse.
Well, I mean, that's and I think Dan and I were very impressionable at that age when those movies came out.
Yes.
We're seeing them repeatedly. But ironically, I married somebody who has very fond feelings about this movie and remembers watching it the exact same way. And so she's going to be very excited.
Does your wife know about this?
Nice. Yeah, we'll see. It's short. I can say that it's not a long movie.
Oh,
It's
thank God.
short. That is definitely the best tagline yet.
Well, people
It's
were
not as long as A Beautiful Mind.
well. It is an hour and 52 minutes. I lied. It's not as short as.
It's not short. It's just not long. I think yesterday is shorter than that, if I recall.
An hour and 56, I think.
Oh no, it is a little longer,
It'll be
slightly.
interesting. Will this do better or worse than The Greatest Showman? Greatest Showman did not get a lot of love.
Well, what
I need to add my score to that.
Yeah, can I add my score to that?
Yeah, we've talked of, eventually we might do a rewatch someday. You never know.
Also, that's the one that chills my child out. So that's been on repeat at my house for like.
Is this then the second musical we've watched after Greatest Showman? I mean, I really don't count Spinal Tap as a musical, even though there's a lot of music in it. I guess you could argue
Well, we watched
that.
Grease.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
There was Grease.
True, there was Grease.
Grease is the word.
Grease
Oh,
ain't
I
not-
Grease is the word. I mean, the word.
I watched Into the Woods this week. I forgot about that.
Oh,
Yeah, speaking of
That's good.
musicals.
Yep.
Grease only got a 77. The Greatest Showman did worse than that. I'm looking for it to try to remember exactly how badly it did. 71.
That's the movie that brought Reagan into this so that she could badmouth it.
Yeah, Reagan gave that a 41. She gave
Yeah.
The Greatest Showman a 41.
I was not a fan.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I love the musical. Could have done Moulin Rouge. That's another one. That one would have been fun.
Well, Grease came out the same year as this. So it was a real stellar year for musicals.
It was.
There was one of the comedians. I think it was Seth Meyers. I mentioned this last week. Seth Meyers did a bit because in Greece they're now recommending people 60 and over get an additional COVID booster. And Seth Meyers goes, well, and you know what they call a 60-year-old in Greece, don't you? Stockard Channing.
Oh,
Oh,
And he then pauses and goes, and this is for the baby boomers in the audience.
that's funny.
that's not right. All right. So Adam suggests the pirate movie and Cabin Boy.
Cabin Boy is dumb but fun.
David Letterman's only feature.
Yeah,
film.
want to buy
And
a
I
monkey.
do love Chris Elliott. Chris Elliott never does
She
wrong. by me.
likes Yesterday in the pirate movie. She would have enjoyed that a little bit more. Adam asks if he'll enjoy this movie more on LSD.
Oh, don't do
Well,
that, Adam.
There's
a lot
some
of the album was written on LSD, so it
There's
makes
a
sense.
scene or two, probably.
You can do Yellow Submarine then too.
This is 1978. They did not reunite the Beatles for this movie. That would have been something. Reagan would like to lower her score for The Greatest Showman. And Adam refers to The Greatest Showman as Wolverine joins the circus.
I went into that not knowing what to expect, and it didn't work.
Oh, here we go. Adam, the only musical Adam's ever really enjoyed was Rocky Horror.
There you go.
Never seen it.
Well, this
So
one
you went into that with no expectations, and it achieved your goal.
I saw Rocky Horror repeatedly at the King's Court in Oakland when I was younger.
When you were but a lad.
Yeah, I saw it a few times in California.
We forgot to mention John Nash is an alumnus of the same
Carnegie
school,
Mellon.
of same school as Dave.
He got his bachelor's and I think master's there.
Right, but it was the
Little known
Carnegie
fact.
Institute, right? Back then.
Yep, it was Carnegie Institute of Technology before they became CMU.
It was CIT.
And he's also in the end credits of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So
Dave, when did they change? Dave, when did they change this? From
It was before I went there. Before I started there in '80. I'm not sure when exactly they changed it.
But like in our lifetime.
It was,
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
in the 70s.
Institute of Technology with Mellon Institute to form CMU, but I'd have to check Wikipedia to see.
I would say it was 60s, maybe 70s.
Okay.
Oh yes, and Dr. Johnny Fever died.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, I missed that.
Yep, and
Did he choke on meatloaf?
Oh no, he choked on a booger.
Man,
soon
67 they merged.
Okay.
I made the comment that what are the
Amazing.
odds that the most famous DJ from Cincinnati dies, and then Cincinnati makes the Super Bowl in the same day.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah, that's all.
Head of the class.
Baby.
Another one of my friends wrote that. He goes, I'm amazed. All these radio people are talking about Dr. Johnny Fever, but no, I haven't seen one teacher talk about head of the class. I'm like, it wasn't as popular.
All the teachers you see.
Yeah,
It was an awesome show.
public interest quite as much as
It was
WK.
kind of boring.
It didn't have Lonnie Anderson for one thing.
It had Dan Schneider, who does all kinds of Nickelodeon and Nickelodeon TV shows.
Robin Givens in it?
Yes, Mike Tyson's ex-wife.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
sadly, I think that might have reset the Celebrity 3 count. Because, like I said, after Meatloaf and Louis Anderson, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. There was no 3 on that one.
Are you going to dress in a satin jacket uniform for?
You know he has what to expect.
Just pull out your Black Hawk Band uniform.
Speaking of that, when we went to open house in the fall, we went to the art room because Kent is in painting class, and Eric's tuba was sitting there on the floor. They took it out of the band room and use it as a prop in art classes.
I don't think that's my tuba.
I think it's your tuba.
There's a tuba.
You probably touched it. I took a picture of it and sent it to him.
Tubas in high school.
I touched some tubas, let me tell you. How does that sound wrong? What's wrong with
I
that?
don't know.
It is wrong. It's so wrong.
Hey, you want to touch my tuba?
Back to my room and touch my tuba? Yeah, nice.
Oh, Lord.
It's all about that bass.
What a mouthpiece.
Oh, jeez.
All right, there's the rails. We've got.
And there it is.
Yeah,
we
we
pushed
got
the
it.
edge.
Then we go off with the Looney Tunes.
Saturday on Clutch Radio. Welcome to EriDan After Dark. Saturday on Clutch Radio, we will be driving. We're not sure what we'll be driving yet, but we'll be doing a driving episode.
Do you know where you'll be driving? Just in circles? Can you do donuts?
We might actually drive the 79 Pontiac Catalina.
Did Rafi sell that car?
It's going up on Bring a Trailer. He's not going to buy it.
Oh, he's not.
No,
That's
it's
a nice
a great car. But one just like it sold for like $24,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was only 40 brand new.
And how old is it?
This one's an 07. An 04 sold for like 24,000. So the used car market is just insane.
Yeah,
and Rafi makes a good point. If you think about this, people are putting the money into classic cars because stocks can go to zero. Cars never will go to zero. There's always safety in it.
Well, I don't know.
If you wreck, you get the insurance money.
You broke the window on that one in that parking lot. That one might be zero.
No, it's still worth something. And you insure it.
Touch my Dogecoin, Dan?
What's that?
You still have your Dogecoin?
I do have some Dogecoin.
How's your NFTs going?
I haven't started my NFTs yet.
The Dan's Dad NFTs are going to take off.
Oh, they're going to be wildfire. All right. Well,
that's not the name of the show anymore.
I know. It's very exciting.
Now the show is called It's a Lot.
Now it's called what?
It's a Lot.
It's a Lot.
Because it takes place on a car lot.
Yeah, because it's a pun on a car lot. Yeah.
Eric wrote that.
It's at a cemetery, one or the other. So
it's the story.
That would be a plot.
It's the story of Dan, who has so much going on in his life. His father is a musician. His long last love is returned to life. His best friend is kind of a maniac. And to top things off, his job at work is full with wacky, zany people. It's a Lot. Mondays on CBS.
Wow, that's pretty good. Wow.
Was that off the cuff?
That was right off the cuff.
Good job.
That means he's actually read it. Thank you, Eric.
That's really the target demographic.
The demographic is us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes,
it's these 8 people right here.
Because
there's 3 of us for sure.
That's right.
Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld said they did Seinfeld for themselves. They thought it would never go anywhere, so they wrote with something they would watch. So there's an audience for everything.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. My Dogecoin's actually up a little bit. It was up a little bit today. $31 it was up today.
Nice.
Nice sell.
Well, I already sold my investment. I mean, this is all house money now. It's $1,000 in that account still.
Well, drop a message at EriDan.com if you really get desperate with trying to find a copy of these movies, and we'll help you out the best we can. Or contact Dr. Ethley if you know Dan. All right, we'll help you out in any way we can to find a library with a copy.
Now, do you go with the narrative type of theme song? Like the Brady Bunch or Gilligan's Island?
It's a story.
The
guy named Dan.
I don't think you want to go the nanny. I think those days are over.
Okay.
I think part of the deal to get Rick Springfield's going to be we have to let him write the song so he can get the royalties on it.
Probably very much, right? When you give life everything you got,
it's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
When you hate that car that you bought,
it's a lot.
Oh my word.
When you write something down, you just give it a jot.
Oh my gosh. So the libraries where Sgt. Pepper's are Back Mountain Memorial Library, Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, Erie County Public Library, Media, Upper Providence Library, Swarthmore Public Library, and Union City Public Library.
This is a list of the best libraries in Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
So now
Union City would not be on that list.
They will share between the libraries, right? So they will.
If you go through Access Pennsylvania, you have to ask your librarian to do that for you. But
to bring her like a box of chocolates and ask her if she'll please get you a copy.
If you just say, "Hi, I need an Access PA. Can you help me?" in a nice way, it'll be fine. No chocolate needed.
But it doesn't hurt.
Oh, they're not refused.
Probably not refused. Never. All right, so I'm going to get the second page warmed up for these movies for next Oh, it's also in the Library of Congress. Of course, it's in the Library of Congress.
Yes.
Your senators are spending all day watching these movies.
It's in the cellar with the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Nice.
I think the book on hosting is in the Library of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had to register
Lost Ark on the wheel sometime.
That's how I did the copyright.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. You just fill out a form and mail it in.
Nice.
We could have the EriDan whatever. We could write an EriDan book.
Sure we can.
I think Brittany's just a video of Brittany. I don't think she's really there anymore.
She left. Brittany's like, we're not talking about my movies anymore. I don't have anything to say.
Oh no, you're good. No, I'm just taking it all in.
I am so excited.
Next week.
I am so excited to hear Brittany and Cody's reaction to these movies.
I have to figure out if he's coming over. It's hard enough to get him to come over to watch one, let alone trying to find time to watch two with him.
I won't be coming over there at all to watch these movies. Just so you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in West Virginia this weekend. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, good. That makes my life easier. I can go on my schedule instead of yours.
There you go.
All right. Well, with that,
well, enjoy yourselves. Keep your expectations low, and we will see you next Monday night, maybe, or 2 weeks. We'll see you soon for another fun-filled episode. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.